Tech News Weekly is sponsored by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streaming directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/GFQ.
Starting Tech News Weekly in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech News Weekly. I'm Andrew Zarian, and of course I'm joined by Josh Coleman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing excellent, Andrew. It's wonderful to be here on this beautiful Friday.
You're at your new home.
Yes, my background should change by Tuesday or Wednesday. It should look a lot different.
You mean they're going to let you out?
Yeah, they're gonna let me out of the insane asylum. They've
have mercy.
The jacket off. So
hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yep, that's right.
And that magical voice you're hearing is none other than John Bubb, also known as Suncast on the GFQ Network. How are you doing, John?
I'm magical.
Magical. I am very tired. It's been a long week. A lot of technology stuff happening. I did about a 10-hour marathon covering everything that was happening on Tuesday. On Monday, I did the WWDC conference, which both of you were here for. We also discussed the Xbox announcement. There was a Sony announcement that night. A lot's going on. Let's go right into it. Let's talk about WWDC and all the things that we heard and saw. John, what were some things that you liked? What were some things that you disliked? I know Josh has a lot of opinions on a lot of the stuff.
You're already making people attack me. You see that? You're just putting a label on me.
I'm just saying you have a lot of opinions.
He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You called me out. You've already said I'm the heel character. I've got problems.
No. All I said was you have a lot of opinions on everything that was happening. So, John, what do you think? What did you like? What did you dislike?
Do we want to go like item by item, or do we want to just do general overall? Because there was a lot that happened. We had Mac OS X 10.9 announced, which is now being called Mavericks. The new MacBook Airs. And then iOS 7 had a bunch of different little announcements.
So let's talk about Mavericks first. OS 10, 10.9 is the release number. Mavericks is the name. They've left the big cat names. Now they're naming it after towns and cities, I guess, in California. Launching this fall. There's a major overhaul with a lot of the skeuomorphism that was in prior builds. This is something that we knew that was coming. Johnny Ive was on the project. They calendars redesigned. They have multiple monitor support, much better multiple monitor support with AirPlay integration.
This is something I know that Coleman is very much interested in.
You know what?
And he can speak a little bit too about the multi-monitor stuff.
Yeah. So right now they do support multi-monitor support. So right now what we do generally here is when on the MacBook Pro in front of me, I have a video out from there, and I screen capture a mirrored image of my desktop. The reason why I don't do a secondary display is that there are some weird issues with it. Like if I full screen something on that screen, it affects my screen, the screen that I'm looking at now. So there's some weird issues here and there on this. But apparently it's going to be totally independent. It's going to almost be like a separate desktop, which is great. Really happy about that. They've also reworked the notifications in iOS. It's more iOS-like. There's iBooks now. Maps are included now in this. So I also think we're going to see some more changes. I think we're going to see some changes with iPhoto and iMovie, which are less skeuomorphic, obviously, to kind of match the entire thing. Nice little changes here. We're also going to get better battery life. There was a lot of nitty-gritty that they covered. Evolutionary, obviously. This is something that they've done over the last 4 years with OS 10, where it's been very small updates, nothing that's groundbreaking, nothing that's revolutionary. You're not talking from tiger to leopard. I think this is a great move for them. I think this is a good move for them. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to be a huge improvement? Do you just think this is just another evolutionary step in OS 10?
Personally, I think this is just more of an evolutionary step. And I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. It's good and bad because in a way, I think OS X is kind of starting to get that stale feeling like iOS had. And it's almost to the point where they need to do something else with that. I don't know if this is just their way of kind of slowly introducing it into OS X, the new design style that they have, but they just couldn't necessarily do everything all at one time, both iOS and OS X at the same time. So,
Josh, how about you? What do you think?
I agree totally with what John is saying, and I think the main thing, and I mean we've covered this as well, is that I think they saw what Windows and Microsoft's trying to do, where they're trying to do what we thought they were going to do, is where it's a phone experience, you got your tablet experience, and you have your desktop experience. And throughout all those devices, it's the same experience. And they've decided to go a totally different route of the mobile experience and a desktop experience. And I think that I'm excited for that, because I was someone who originally liked Windows 8 when it first came out, and then after a while I'm like, I just want my desktop so I could do some work or get to where I need to go. And I think this does that, where I don't have to, I can still, because I work 100% in OS 10.8 right now, and I need to be able to move and control and move as fast. If I had a whole little mobile system here, it wouldn't work. It would slow my workflow.
What I actually noticed that they were doing during the entire keynote was that they were saying specifically, this is for the power user. And they're kind of separating their user base, where, Apple guys were Apple guys. But now if you're using an Apple, OS 10 desktop or laptop, you're considered the pro user when it comes to comparison with like the iPhone and iOS stuff.
Pro.
And I think that was kind of a jab.
Because I think that the way that Windows said, they just said, all right, we're going to have the same design exactly for both Windows on your phone, Windows on a tablet, Windows on your desktop. It's all going to be exactly the same. And I don't know that design necessarily works. I really don't think it does, to be honest. Whereas what Apple is doing is they're defining it as, we're going to have this iOS experience, but we're still going to have this OS X experience as well for the desktop. And what's really important here is not the fact that you have a different or the exact same layout for everything that you use for every device. What's important is being able to access your files and be able to perform certain functions across those. Of course, you're going to want to be able to do more on your desktop than you could on a smartphone. But the fact that when you put a mobile operating system on a desktop where you're expecting to have much more flexibility and just overall ease of use for a power user, it's just not going to be there with a mobile operating system. And that's where I think Windows went wrong. The important part is being able to access those files that you need. That's what's really important here.
What's really funny to me too is that if you take a product like the Xbox, they've released a Kinect, right? And the way you interact with that Kinect and interface with it is totally with your hands, correct? But they have the other operating system on the Xbox where it's with a controller. So this is not an Xbox controller though. With the controller, so they know that there's two different ways to interact. But with what they've done with Windows is that there's only one way to interact there.
And what is that?
It's terrible clicking on boxes.
You don't like that?
I don't like it.
No, what people want is access to their files. To be able to have all their contacts or files that they have on their phone, on their desktop, or desktop on their phone.
I don't know.
It's not necessarily the interface that they're looking for.
I mean, it's also too early to kind of knock down that kind of interface. True. I mean, this whole concept of one unified OS all across all platforms, it's still very early to start knocking it, because obviously Windows 8 was the first time they've attempted something like this. I can't, criticize them on it not being everything it should be. 8.1, obviously, it's going to be evolved a little bit, and we're going to kind of see where they're headed with this. But this is going to be a long-term evolution of what the Windows platform will be. I also don't think the hardware is caught up, where Apple has the advantage where they control the hardware. So they're able to produce products that kind of coincide with what kind of hardware they're running. A lot of the attention was put on something they did, which was very Apple-like, is that they discussed how they are now doing all this programming and coding in the back end on making your battery life technology better on your computer. Now, that was a direct connection with their latest MacBook Air announcement, which they upgraded the MacBook Airs, bigger battery on them. They also are running a Haswell chip, which is a new Intel chipset, which is supposed to be far more efficient when it comes to power consumption.
About the MacBook Airs, right?
MacBook Air, yeah. When it comes to power consumption and when it comes to battery life, it's far more efficient. Majority of that battery life that they're getting is not due to the software. Yeah, some of it is, I'm sure, but majority of it is linked with the Haswell chip that they're using.
Right.
Correct.
That's going to make a tremendous difference in the battery life technology in this thing. You know what was? It was a little weird, and I'll tell you why. They announced a new MacBook Air. They announced a new Airport Extreme, but no MacBook Pros. Why did they announce the MacBook Air, but not anything else?
Well, didn't they announce new MacBook Pros back in October, whenever they had their last event, and they announced the iPhone 5?
Yeah, but no Haswell in them yet.
No.
Why don't you go into more details of what happened, and I'm going to close this window because they're mowing the lawn apparently outside.
You love that. What are you drinking?
Well, I kind of want to. I want to bring up this whole Mac Pro situation because this is something that has a lot of controversy in it.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for a long time now for Apple to finally update their Mac Pro line. It's been 3 years now. Their last update came in 2010, and so they introduced this whole new Mac Pro in a completely new design, which they said, I forget who was speaking at the time, can't innovate my ass, and everybody loved that. But then again, I'm not necessarily sure that this really is innovation. What it is, it's a cylindrical design, and it very much resembles kind of the design era from the Cube that Apple once had. So I don't know that this is necessarily innovation. And the problem with this is that it also limits you in terms of what you can actually do physically with the hardware itself, because you're no longer going to be able to add any sort of hardware into it. You can't change the graphics card on it. You can't add any capture.
You could change the RAM. You could change the RAM.
That's the only thing that they did not specifically design for this system. So, I'm not necessarily
do you
sure
like? What do you think of the design?
You know what? It looks nice, but the fact is, for the majority of people that are interested in a Mac Pro, I don't think they give a crap about design. I really don't, and that's why I don't understand. I almost feel like this is a product that they're not necessarily targeting the professional user with. They're in a way, because they made this look so pretty and everything, it almost feels like they're trying to grab more of the consumer end of side, the higher end consumer, than they are a professional.
Yeah, I mean, the big question will be, and this is something that I'm curious about, because it's not upgradable anymore, it's become more of an appliance or more of this throwaway PC mentality where you buy it for a couple of years, you don't upgrade, you don't touch the inside, you just get a new one. How is that going to impact the pricing? If it's cheaper, if it's significantly cheaper than the prior generation MacBook Pro, Mac Pro, yeah, I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think they're going to sell a lot. But if they're pricing it the same or more, they're going to run into some issues.
If you want to pull out my screen, I can show you some screenshots of what it actually looks like inside. As you can see in this picture, it comes with dual GPUs, which is nice. But these GPUs are specifically designed for the Mac Pro, so you're not going to be able to actually swap these out. If there's something that goes wrong,
they're soldered on. They're soldered on, right?
I don't know that they're soldered on. They are screwed on, I believe. But you can see just by the design of this thing, it's not really. It's got this core thing that's supposed to make it cooler, which is nice. But because of that design, it doesn't offer people any expandability. The way they say that they're going to compensate for that is, and I'll switch back to my camera for you, is that they're going to have these 6 Thunderbolt ports. But then again, what Thunderbolt devices are out there at the moment? So,
and they're all about design.
They're going to have,
they're all about design. So you're going to have this, beautiful piece of hardware with 6 different things attached to it. You could have a video card attached. You can have a hard drive attached. You're going to have 6 different things attached.
You're relying on all these different things that you're going to have to now attach to this computer. That really, in a way, you've got this pretty little device, but now you're going to add all these other little things to it that really is going to clutter up your desk.
What do you think of Josh?
You know what? Of course, and we can all agree, it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, it's beautiful. But what you all are saying, I 100% agree, because they need to focus on the things that you look at all the time with your eyes. That's laptops. You look at your laptop all the time. The iMac, you look at the iMac all the time. But like that, you're going to put under the desk and never look at it again. That's why, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that it could have been. I mean, everyone makes a big deal about these consoles, which we're going to talk about, what the box looks like. But that's another box I'm just going to put into my entertainment system and never look at it again. I'm going to look at the controller and the TV, and that's it. So, yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't fit into the pro line that of the top end. I can upgrade it and make it even always be the top brand, and now it's just a glorified trash can.
By the way, yeah, well, this is funny you bring that up because Cult of Mac had a story today about different uses for the Mac Pro. It's a bed for your cat.
There you go.
Trash can.
That's nice.
Beer cans.
I like that one.
Some weird thing that blows up from the Mac Pro, which is really weird.
I like the beer cans one. Oh, that's the dancing
for this thing.
That was a great It's Always Sunny episode, Andrew.
Yeah, it is. I'm chewing ice. I'm so professional today.
What are you drinking, by the way? I heard a glass with ice. What is it?
It's water. Ice water.
Oh, look at that.
You know what's
Changed man.
Yeah, I'm changed. I'm sober. I'm a sober guy.
Oh.
It does come with dual gigabit Ethernet jacks, which I'm happy about.
Right. I mean, some people should probably get Ethernet in every room of their house.
Yeah, especially when they're building a brand new house.
But you're building a brand new house and you have the option to put Ethernet everywhere, and you only put it in 3 rooms. It's real smart.
Very smart.
How much do you guys think this is going to cost? Because in a way, can they charge as much as they normally charge for this because it doesn't offer necessarily the expandability that we're used to?
I'm going to say they're going to go cheaper, and they're going to start at $1,300.
Whoa! That is way too low.
Well, you got to consider that they're going to put an Intel Xeon in there, and they're going to also have dual GPUs in there. So that's going to jack up the price.
$1,700
right there.
$1,700, Bob.
$1,700. I'm going with that old when they had the original Mac Pro. The lowest end was $1,899.
$1,899.
Yes.
John, what's yours?
21.
$1, Bob. $1.
No, it's Drew Carey now. Come on.
It's always Bob.
You sound like an old man.
When do we talk about iOS 7? A lot of changes in iOS 7. Total revamp of the entire look and feel of iOS 7. It looks fresh. I know some people that have played around with it. They've said it feels fresh. It feels like a operating system of this era, not something that came out 7 years ago, which iOS, in my opinion, was starting to look really dated. You have some pictures of it, John? There you go.
I do.
Look at that. It is pretty. I mean, I'll tell you, it looks, it has this pastel-y type feel to it. Everything is a little transparent. It just feels a lot more modern looking. Now, Josh, you do web design. You're connected to this. What do you were actually excited about the look, right?
Yeah, I love the fonts and the treatment of the flattening of the logos. I am not a huge fan of the hippity hoppity Easter bunny look, but that's easily changed by just changing your background. So, and hopefully they'll do something about that photo app and the Game Center logo look awful. But overall, I mean, it's great. The weather app, the camera app, everything's beautiful.
Yeah, just like the weather app too. John, I mean, you have an iPhone. What do you think of it?
I'm still kind of mixed on this.
Why is that?
I think overall it looks nice, but I'm still not 100% sold on the way it looks. Because in a way, I kind of feel like this is almost a mix of Windows 7 and Windows 8. Where you have Windows 7 and the arrow peak stuff, but you also have Windows 8 where it's got the flatter look to it.
Oh, you're talking about the translucency of arrow.
Yeah. The opaque. I mean, it does. I mean, Windows 7 is very heavy on the opaque stuff. So, and I'm looking at this, and that's neat. And I actually do like that effect. But in a way, I just don't know that it necessarily feels genuine to me. It just doesn't feel quite right to me for some reason.
So it's launching this fall on iPhone, iPhone 4, iPad 2, and newer. So pretty much anything that's the last 2 years, you're going to get it. It's going to have a new control center for quick settings, AirDrop file sharing, which was pretty cool. Siri updated with a new male and female voice, Bing and Wikipedia integration, Siri for iOS in the car. Now, that was really cool. Now, that's going to be released sometime in 2014 because the car manufacturers that they had agreements with, and I believe it was 8 or 9 of them: Nissan, Chevy, Infiniti, Opel, Jaguar, Ferrari. So there was a whole bunch of it you could see, but they're waiting for the new car manufacturers to kind of integrate it inside. So what it pretty much does is you connect your iPhone to your car, much like everybody else does, and it changes the navigation screen to your iPhone. So you have the iPhone mapping, you have all your messages, Siri integration, all your iTunes stuff. It actually is pretty cool that you're able to get the iOS experience in the car. I think that's pretty useful because,
Absolutely.
you know, the car manufacturers do an awful job at creating interfaces for their touch devices.
Yeah.
You're also getting an activation lock, which is pretty cool. So pretty much if your phone is stolen, you could lock it to the point of activation. So you blow everything away, and they cannot activate it unless they have your username and your password, which they won't.
I think what it is that I'm more or less underwhelmed with the features that they've introduced than it is, because it looks like they've spent most of their time redesigning the look of it rather than implementing any sort of features.
Right.
Which in a way is a bad thing, because the last couple of iOS releases, it feels like all they did was add a little few features here and there. So it's kind of underwhelming that they really haven't added a ton of new features. I mean, couple of things that really disappoint me are two things that I very much really do want. And the only way to do that right now is to jailbreak. One is the notification center needs a clear all badge, because I really don't give a crap about the notification center. And then the messages, if you have more than one person that you're talking to at the same time in messages, you have to go back to the message inbox in order to switch messages.
Yeah.
I don't understand
really?
why I just can't have swipe navigation, where if I'm in a message and I swipe left or right, I can't go to the next and previous message in my inbox.
You know,
I really don't
because
understand
of that.
Gmail does it.
You know, because of that, since I was an iPhone user first and then I went to Android, I would constantly go back out and then go back in the app, because iPhone had trained me to do that. And it took a while until I realized, why don't I just swipe over? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand. That is such an easy feature to implement.
Yeah.
And it would so greatly increase the use of that app, in my opinion. It's just one of those things that it's such a pain to actually have to go back. And, it's very frustrating.
iTunes Radio was another thing that was announced. It's a Pandora, Spotify-like service with it's free with ads, ad-free with iTunes Match, which is $25 a year. So if you have iTunes Match, like many other people, I have iTunes Match. It's going to be no ads. If you want it for free, it's going to have ads. Some people said a little too late to enter into that game. Pandora and Spotify work really well. Why is someone going to use iTunes Radio? Now, I know Josh uses Spotify.
Yes.
What do you think of iTunes Radio?
I probably won't. I'll probably open it once, and then that'll be it, because I am totally in on Spotify, where I have it on all my devices. It acts as during the day when I'm working, it acts as like my music in the background. So
and you have really bad, taste in music. So
just because I like pop music and the top 100 songs on Billboard.
Demi Lovato, you love her.
Oh my God, that new song, Heart It.
Disney.
Anyway. Yep.
There's your Disney connection.
You know, I found out one of my favorite Disney shows that I watched with my son is canceled now.
Which show?
Good Luck, Charlie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bridget Mendler.
I canceled that a while ago.
Oh, they did? I just saw it on Twitter the other day, so it didn't even me.
So iTunes Match, and of course multitasking. They have better multitasking when you so you could go in and out of apps. It runs better in the background. So there's more multitasking in iOS 7. Overall, good change, positive change. Not this, oh my God, this is unbelievable, look what they added type stuff. But this is, again, a nice little aesthetic change to iOS, which I think we should all be happy for. We're going to see it in a couple months.
More.
They will. I mean, we'll see more come out.
I'm just not satisfied with what they've done with this. I mean, yeah, it looks nice and everything, but I'm still missing features. Why is it that they've got the 7th version of this now, and I still can't swipe between freaking messages, and there's still no clear all bad?
No, that's
Those
actually
are two
weird.
of the easiest things to ever implement. I'm not asking for much here. Two little things that you could easily do
what's happening
if your
to John
device
already?
was jailbroken.
What's happening, John?
What's someone who's gotten an iPhone 5. He loved it. He was totally in love. And he's gotten to the point where he's seeing the things that aren't there that is driving him crazy. And if we put a Samsung S4 in his hand, He'd be happy.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he would.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. There was also two other big announcements on Monday. It was E3. It was the start of E3. Xbox and Sony both had big announcements. First of all, Sony, I mean, that they knocked that thing out of the park. I'm going to get to why, but let's talk about Xbox first. Xbox announcement was around 1 o'clock. I think like 12:45 it started. They announced the pricing, which is going to be $4.99. No surprise. Launching November. I say November 5th.
No surprise. Hold on.
Yeah.
Surprise for some of us here that aren't on the inside.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I didn't know it was $4.99.
No big surprise. They said launches in November. I will put money on November 5th. Take it or leave it. That's all I'm saying. Xbox.
So I shouldn't be surprised?
I wouldn't be surprised if they launched November 5th.
Okay.
They also announced that Xbox Live is ditching Microsoft points, going to local currency. Thank God, because it was weird.
Hey, look at that website, by the way. What does that website look exactly like? And has the menu system exactly like?
GFQ.
No, that's exact. Well, yeah, that too. But it looks just like the Apple site, but green. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no.
It's exactly the same.
I like the controller.
Oh, the controller is great. From what I hear, though, both the PlayStation controller and that one are just excellent. So that's a good thing.
So they had their announcement. There's a lot of controversy over the DRM stuff with used games. People are upset. The always pinging home thing. People are saying, well, what if you're in the military? You can't ping home. And Microsoft's response to that was, well, luckily for them, we make another Xbox that you don't have to ping home. It's the Xbox 360.
Can I tell you, that is the biggest joke ever.
That comment?
And right there tells me that I would never want to get an Xbox. If that's their sort of response to this criticism, then they seriously need to check themselves into a mental ward or something, because that's just absolutely uncalled for to have a comment like that. Oh, well, your solution is to go buy the old hardware.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, that's pretty much what they
the
said.
fact that you have to ping home every 24 hours.
Yeah.
What was the other device? Was it the Wii U or whatever it was that has to call home every 30 days or something like that? That makes that sound very good compared to every 24 hours.
What does a Wii U need to do?
Was it the Wii? There was some device that they said needs to check home every 30 days.
I know Steam, which is the gaming application, I guess, that runs on Windows and Mac and now Linux. That has a 30-day offline, and it has to connect every 30 days. So
it's the Microsoft Office 365 that I think I'm thinking of, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move the Xbox to a 30-day too. And what you guys brought up with the military, really, you know what? I never even thought about that, because we've worked, and I'm trying to bring up the name here. Michael and I met these great guys. God, I'm so terrible. I'll find the name by the end of the show, but we're working these guys that all they do is they go to these publishers and manufacturers and get 360s and PS3s and tons of games and ship them over to the military over there, so they have stuff to do in their downtime. And if this is the case, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys that are huge gamers over there.
I don't necessarily agree with the response that they had. I mean, that was a little bit of a asshole-like comment, if you ask me. But
you think?
PlayStation also had their announcements at around.
I wanted to,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Okay, you want me to go into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sony also had their announcement, and during the Sony announcement, they took numerous jabs at Microsoft throughout the entire thing. They attacked them on every possible front, on all the criticism, the DRM, the used game support, just the always on feature, and they also knocked down $100 off the price. $399 is the price for the PS4. John, what was that? You have no video?
No, I have the video.
Oh, okay. If you want, go ahead, play it. So here's the Sony video.
I don't have the audio for it, by the way.
It's okay.
But this is just something that they did to really mock Microsoft's DRM stuff. This is how they share games.
This is a genius slap in the face.
Oh, tremendous. Tremendous.
I just thought this whole thing, it was so simple but so brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, listen, on all the things that they're criticizing Microsoft for, I cannot criticize them on the price. I'm not against the pricing structure. The $4.99 is a fine price. I think it's kind of silly to argue over that $100 considering you're getting a Blu-ray player and you're getting Connect. You're not getting Connect with the $399 price for the entry-level PlayStation. You're going to have to go and probably get, I think it's like $70 for their whatever their video thing is. So in the end, it almost costs you about the same. The $100, and I said this, and I'm a little critical of the people that complain about the $100. If you can't afford that extra $100, you have more of an issue than affording $399. Maybe you shouldn't spend the $399 if you can't afford the $499. That's all I'm saying. So the pricing thing is totally bogus to me. But all the other stuff that they're criticizing them on, the DRM stuff, you know what? They all have a point. They all have a point. And is that enough for people to leave at Microsoft? The diehards, I don't think they're going to bounce. I think they are very loyal to Microsoft. They're criticizing them now, but they're going to go and buy it. If you're playing Halo, guess what? You're not going to be able to play Halo on the PS4.
Well, here's a comparison of both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And if you look at it, they're very evenly matched. Just for spec, they're pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah. No, they're in every sense. It's the same processor, same everything.
Same hard drive space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same RAM, USB 3.0.
But also keep this in mind.
Go ahead.
The PS4 is actually $450 because you have to now have PS Plus to play anything online. That's the rumor I heard. So really, it's a $50 difference.
It's a $50.
I have an announcement to make though.
Yeah.
Because I originally pre-ordered the PS4 immediately after the press conference. The other day, I have pre-ordered the Xbox One as well.
So you got both. So what do you now? You're far more of a gamer than I am.
Far more. I don't play games like Candy Crush and Kingdom Rush in the middle of the night.
Kingdom Rush is great.
True or false? You've played Kingdom Rush an entire day once.
No, not an entire day, but an entire evening.
Okay.
Well, entire afternoon.
Anyway, so yes, the thing is that now I've sort of all this controversy is on disc-based games, to be honest with you. So I'm starting to now think about how I'm gaming and why do I want these boxes with discs in my house. I'd rather just have them associated all to one account. They're all there. I can download them whenever I want. So, and those rights I have no rights. I basically have the license to play it on my account. I can't trade it. I can't sell it. Nothing. Yeah. So I've already given up all rights, and yet because this is so highlighted with disc-based games, that's why there's such a controversy. But I realize now it doesn't even affect me.
Why? Because you're not buying discs at all?
I'm not buying discs at all. Today was the first day, and I'll get into it later, that I'm never buying a disc again. Everything's going to be digitally downloaded.
To go into it, what happened?
So today is a release of a game, and it's my pick of the week, so I'll wait on talking about it. But a game came out today, and I decided, okay, I could go get in my car, drive, get the game, come back, put it in my drive, install it, blah, blah, blah. Or last night, I could just go on, I say pre-order, it knows it's a pre-order. I wake up in the morning, it was still downloading on a wireless connection, which I don't think is an option for anyone, and that's probably the norm in this market. And it said 9 hours to download it. So then I took it, did a hardwire, it took 30 minutes. So that is not
really? You're kidding me.
So 30 minutes is doable. So if you have a hardwired connection, you can go that way. And now, from now on, if I'm buying games like that, everything has to be hardwired until, I guess, the signal gets caught up with that type of speed. But yeah, it's impossible to do over a wireless connection. But it was great. I had the game, and at 80% too, as it was downloading, it said, do you want to start playing? We'll download the rest in the background. You have enough that by the time you get to the point that you need it, go ahead.
That's actually pretty cool.
And now it's on my account. I can basically play it. I could delete it. I could come and download it another day. I'm hoping that my PlayStation ID would then carry over to PS4 and that I would be able to download that game if I wanted to. Again, we'll have to see about that. But yeah, this is obviously the future of where everyone's going, because why do you want to have all those boxes of discs? I don't know.
I have a whole box in my basement full of CD jackets.
Yeah.
You don't care for them. I like displaying them in my living room.
Yeah, he loves it. You even display vinyl. It's crazy.
I do display vinyl, yeah. I love vinyl.
You display some other things as well.
I display pot, too, and pills and drugs. We just display everything. Drugs and vinyl and everything.
Wow, that's awesome.
Why don't we?
Have you ever do an MTV Cribs style house tour?
This is my DVD collection. This is my CD collection. This is my crack pipe.
Why don't you just throw them in the trash?
The DVDs? No, yes. I love them.
Aren't all of them on Netflix? I swear all those wrestling videos are on Netflix.
I'm positive they are.
You cannot do that. You cannot rely on Netflix, and here's why: is because Netflix and all these other services, they have service agreements, and these service agreements normally have end dates. So, as we've seen in the past, after so many years, they end up purging whatever it is that they have that might not necessarily be as watched as other stuff to make room for more content that they want to bring on. So if you have something that you like on Netflix, you can't count it to always be there.
No,
that's my whole problem with Netflix and Hulu and all these other places is that, especially Amazon does this as well with their instant video stuff, is that they do these purges, and so it's just not, you can't count on it to always be there.
Since we're talking about TV and movies, there was an interesting story that came out that ESPN is dropping the 3D channel this year, and I've always said this 3D TV thing is just nothing but a fad. It's absolutely useless.
Useless. If you were a person that bought a TV and you had to pay more money because it had 3D technology in it, you are a fool. Sorry.
I never got it. I never liked it. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was gimmicky. I thought it was hokey. There's no reason to get a 3D TV. I think it's a stupid thing. Coco's one of these people that he's all about the 3D. He's so excited about 3D, and I just call him an idiot for being excited about 3D. The reason why they're getting rid of it is A, lack of interest. B, lack of providers, getting us providing that channel. And C, they need to make room for 4K, which I think 4K television is going to be far more of an important and revolutionary thing in the television business than 3D is.
You forgot about D. You don't want to wear stupid glasses that you have to charge all the time. That was the worst. 3D will never work unless it's glassless. There's no way that's why the 3DS for Nintendo is popular, because it doesn't require me to wear anything on my face. So,
you know who gets excited about 3D TVs? 20-year-old guys that love the UFC. Those are the people. That's the exact demo of people that love 3D because they can watch Fast and the Furious on 3D. Oh. So stupid. So stupid. I absolutely hate it. I've always hated it, and I'll continue to hate it. And I don't think I hope it's over. I hope this 3D nonsense is over.
There's really no difference between this and like what Ron Knight says in the chat, and in the 50s when they had that 3D. It lasted about the same amount of time, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About a couple of years. So they're making way for 4K, and this is a great step. Now, the big problem is, why don't we concentrate on 1080p video rather than 4K right now?
Because we don't even broadcast in 1080p.
No, we don't.
So, I mean, what's the point? And if you get a 4K TV right now, that's really stupid, too, because what are you going to watch?
I had an HD TV in 2002, and I still have the TV. Works great, but there was no channel when I got it.
Right.
There was nothing I could watch. There was like 2 or 3 channels that were provided in HD, and there was nothing. But the time, I mean, over the last, I think when I got Fios was 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 6 years ago is when I got Fios. And there were 100 HD channels. Now we probably have like 105.
HD, in my opinion, and this is something that I've come to a realization with over this past week, it is quite possibly a joke at this point. I bought myself a new TV, an HD TV. All I had for like a number of years was this really old 13-inch regular TV. And so now I'm upgrading to an HD TV for my room, my bedroom. And I'm noticing a lot more things about HD. The first is that the signal coming in from the cable company is so compressed that it looks like absolute crap.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that not every channel is in 1080.
No,
I don't understand that. I do not understand why there are still some channels that are only in 720.
Like TBS, I believe, is 720, right?
I really don't get that.
TNT
There's
or
even
TBS?
540p channels out there.
No, that's not true. That's UK, not US.
Are you sure? I thought they did that and then they stretch it out.
Nope, that's not 540.
Look at that. You learned something new.
You do. Today you learned.
540.
That's not in the US.
Not in the US.
No.
But yeah, I'm very disappointed with the quality of picture that I get from my cable company. It looks fine if it's on like a big expensive TV, but if you have just a smaller like 26-inch TV, it just does not look nearly as good.
That's fascinating. That it's not looking good on that small TV. I mean, it could be that your cable company shit.
Well, it's partly that, and it's also the fact that because it's a smaller TV, you're sitting much closer to it. So you're able to notice fine details that you wouldn't necessarily see when you're 8 feet away from the TV.
Yeah.
Versus 3 feet.
We kind of skipped over Nintendo. Nintendo had a couple announcements at E3.
It's okay. What are you going to talk about?
Poor Nintendo.
There's a lot of people skipping over Nintendo.
Mega Man's in Super Smash Brothers. That's the big announcement. Mega Man.
Yeah. What about the yoga instructor from Wii Fit is in that other game? It's not Mega Man, Andrew. It's Mega Man character in the game Super Smash Brothers.
What does that mean?
Exactly. Who cares? That game doesn't come out to 2014.
But they are saying that Nintendo did a really good job at drawing Mega Man, and they're doing a better job than Capcom is.
Oh yeah, because Capcom's not even doing anything with the franchise lately. They made was 3DS games. They put out like a collection once of like all the old games. Yeah, I don't know. They just pushed Mega Man aside, and it's nice that Nintendo's able to do something.
Yeah. I mean, that was it. Mario Kart was another one that they announced. Nothing really. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. What is that?
Oh, that's the new.
The DS.
Remember the game? Yeah, it's on the DS. There was a game called back on Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a sequel to that.
Oh, so it's like
looks
that.
Pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool. I would play this.
Yeah. Oh, you would?
Yeah.
You're okay with it? You're putting it over?
Yeah. I like it.
All right.
I don't like how they made him into like a baby. He looks so babyish.
You don't like baby. You like adult.
There was a new
Link.
Donkey Kong Tropical Breeze. That was one that was announced. And there was a Super Mario 3D World. That was another one that was announced. But really, you're not... Oh, new Luigi U. Is that out?
No, that comes out, I think, end of this month. So
June 20th.
I think it's standalone. I don't think you need the game. I think you can just download it from the store.
No, I can't wait. I'm going to play this.
You'll probably beat it in one night.
Were you surprised when I did that?
Yes.
You thought that was insane.
Before that, I didn't really know you as a gamer, and then you got this, and then all of a sudden you said you beat it in like 2 days, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that was it. Oh, and Wind Waker in HD. They're
remaking a game that I put way too much time in when I was younger. Well, not that young. On the GameCube, that there's no way I'm going to go back and play that again. So,
John, you hate Nintendo.
Wow.
I'm going to say
I hate them.
Yeah, John hates them.
You really, John?
I don't hate Nintendo.
It looks good.
Their product sucks. But...
I mean, Wind Waker.
Oh, did you say Mario Kart?
Yeah.
I thought it was very cool. Yeah.
I mean, Wind Waker looks really good.
It's a Nintendo box. You're gonna buy everything that's a Nintendo game, and then third parties will play on PlayStation, Xbox. That's all.
You know what would be really cool if they said, okay, you know what, $100 you get every original Nintendo title.
I know.
Boom, one shot. You know, or they do like $59.99
at those little shady kiosks at the mall. Man.
Yeah, they have everything for like $4. Some guy that doesn't even speak English knows like every Nintendo title, every obscure Nintendo title.
But they're all named something different so they don't get sued, I think.
Is that no? They're the same names.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, they've gone that far? Wow.
Well, the games are the same. Like the consoles, the devices are different. So Nintendo had an announcement too that nobody really cared about. I have pre-ordered both also. You have? Yes. Interesting. I pre-ordered both, but I think I'm going to cancel the PlayStation one. What? I don't really need it. All right. Nor do I care about it. No, you don't. No. The Xbox One, the Xbox One I kind of like, but now here's the other problem. Now that I got that Xbox, I pre-ordered it, I need a new TV also. Yes. So it's time for me to get a new TV. With 3D. With 3D, yes. And I'm going to sit there with glasses and walk around like an idiot all day long.
Sounds great. And just talk about John Jones and all those other UFC guys.
And wear an Affliction shirt and talk about how I can watch my UFC fights in HD. Nice. It's like John Jones is here. So overrated. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of big announcements, but, you know, I feel like it happened so early on in the week, and it was so overwhelming by like Wednesday, everybody was exhausted. I don't know if you felt the same.
Why? Yeah, because everything was going on. I mean,
they had like a week's worth of stuff in one day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, totally crazy. Crazy if you think about it. In the long run, I mean, let's kind of sum it up and then we'll do our picks. I think all the announcements were pretty good. I don't think Microsoft's DRM issues and the pricing is going to impact the sales at all. People still going to stand online. People are going to still buy it. They're going to do the whole Midnight Madness thing. And the same is going to work for Sony, and they're going to go neck and neck, much like, this year.
I'm surprised that Sony did so well at E3.
Yeah, they did.
And I think a large part of it is because Microsoft left a lot of room for somebody else to be in their space.
Yeah, right. But you know what's fascinating to me? And this is the same thing that I don't get, and I'm curious on why. It seems like the gamers don't give a crap about TV. And they don't give a crap about the UI. Like, the UI and the TV integration and all the apps that you could download.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about that at all.
And I still think Microsoft and Sony both half-assed that still.
I mean, well, no. We don't know yet because Build is next week. Remember that. And at Build, they're most likely to announce that they're opening up development to third-party app developers for the Xbox.
That's still not going to do it. Everybody does that, and it just really never comes of anything.
Well, Apple's not doing it.
So few people that do it that.
No.
And everybody wants to do their own thing. If it's not us doing this, then we don't really care about it. Everybody wants to be the top dog. They don't want to be a third-party developer creating this stuff.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you look at the App Store,
they're going to end up with exclusives that are only on Xbox or only on Sony, and you can't get that anywhere else.
I mean, but look at this. I mean, how about iOS? I mean, they've thrived on third-party developers.
They are a very rare case. If you look at BlackBerry 10, you just don't see that flood that you see on Android or iOS.
How about Steam?
Steam is a rare case, but I still think it's very niche.
It is. I agree. I just don't. You just said the gamers don't care about all that stuff. You're totally right. I could care less. I want a machine that's going to play the games I want to play.
No, not me. Not me.
But I don't use any of those other things. I don't use any of those apps because every time I've ever gone on an Xbox, it's so laggy to get to the. I'd rather use my Apple TV to go and watch Netflix or even use the smart TV functions now is how I'm watching Netflix is built in my Vizio and my Samsung. I go straight to the Netflix app.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me though.
And as somebody that's not really a gamer, I would never go in and spend $400, $500 device that does TV and gaming when I really only care about the TV part. Well, I mean, you can go and get a Roku or a Boxee for $100 or even an Apple TV and spend just a minuscule amount compared to what you get with an Xbox if you don't care about gaming.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Oh, he's right.
No, he is right. All right, let's do our picks of the
gamers
week.
will buy it, but people that don't care about TV, that don't care about games, they're just not going to buy it because it's too expensive compared to what you can get for $100.
Let's do our picks of the week. I'm having a bad allergy attack this entire show. My eye is totally swelled up.
I got sick on T4.
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Something's going on. I'll tell you that. Something's going on. Time for the picks of the week. This is the part of the show where we pick a tech product, a tech anything, a website, whatever it is that we liked for the week, and we discuss it. Who's going to go first this week for the pick?
Hey, can you talk into the mic some more?
No, I can't because I'm trying to find the pick of the week. I'm trying to find the lower third.
I mean, you're supposed to have that set up.
It was.
We're not supposed to be sitting here waiting for you.
Is that okay to be a pick or no?
No, Teen Mom Farah cannot be a pick.
She's on the Chauncey Hayden show on the network.
She was, and I had dinner with her. It was fascinating.
Can I tell you she looks smoking hot?
You know, I'll tell you something. I did not find anything attractive about that girl.
A bull.
Really?
Nothing. Maybe. Nothing.
I thought you were into her teeth. No?
Yeah, those choppers were crazy. Got very upset at that. All right, who's going first this week? John, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
All right.
All right, so my pick of the week is a extension or add-on for Firefox. A new version of Firefox came out about 2-3 months ago. I think Firefox version 22. And with it, they introduced this entirely new download manager that's really integrated. It's no longer this separate window. But by doing that, they actually reduce the features that you get. So I'll bring up my browser here so that you can see what I'm talking about. All you get is this little download arrow now. And when you do that, you only get 3 or 4 items, and it doesn't really give you a whole lot of details about it, which I really hated. One of the things that I really did not like about it was the fact that they took away how fast it was downloading something. I really hated that. But there's this extension called, I believe it's Firefox Download Panel, Tweak Firefox Download Panel, something like that. And it's really cool because it adds all these features back for you. You can change how many items it displays. You can change the height of the item. So instead of it taking up a lot of space, it can take up a slim space. You can change all sorts of stuff on this. And you can also add back how much is transferred, the speed, and how much time is remaining, as you can see here in this screenshot. And it's really cool. So you can end up having, like 10 different items all in that download bar, which is really cool. I really like this. It's called Download Panel Tweaks, and of course, you can get it at addons.mozilla.org.
Very, very cool. I guess I'll go now. I'll switch it up. I won't go last. I'll go second this week. My pick this week, it's following a theme that I've had here on Picks of the Week. My pick this week is the GFQ Android and Google TV app. FCON Software has made it. You may know the name because they made the Twit app for Google TV and for Android. Now, John, do you have some pictures of it? There we go. Let me pull it up. So it's very self-explanatory. You could watch all our on-demand programming, and you can stream it live on your Google TV or your iPad. Your Android tablet or your Android phone. Right now on Google TV, you could also watch live. You have the functionality. It has the ability to watch HD live broadcasts, but it's not on Android or an Android phone or Android tablet yet. But I'm sure with the next release, it'll be on there. Really, really well done. It was actually quite a surprise when I saw it because I had not asked for anybody to make an Android app. I think I said, we're kind of looking for it. And he messaged me. He goes, hey, by the way, I made an app for you. There you go. It's in the store.
Wow.
I mean, really, really surprised and actually blown away that he did it. It's so well done. It's FCON Software. They also do, app development. So if you're looking to create an app, contact them. And that's my pick of the week, the GFQ Android app. Josh, what's your pick?
My pick, Andrew and John, is the game that came out today that I was talking about was my first digital download, day one purchase, and that is the game by Naughty Dog Entertainment, or is it Naughty Dog Studios, The Last of Us. What this game is
orphan. There's an orphan in it. She's an orphan.
Well, there's quite a few orphans because, Andrew, this is a world where something is taken over. I've not finished the game, so this is all I know, and I'm not going to spoil anything. You're in a world where there's some kind of virus.
Can I guess? Can I guess what it is?
Go ahead.
Meningitis.
You think it's meningitis?
Yes, they're all suffering from bad meningitis.
They're sufferers.
They're all sufferers.
We're entering an age gate now because I forgot that it is blood and gore. But anyway, there's this virus going around. It's taken over. About half the population has it, half doesn't. There's martial law going in all the cities in America. You've carved out your little place in the world. You're probably in your late 40s. The character Joel, and
I want to be a teenager.
And you go around. You're trying to figure out what's going on in the game and trying to stay away from the infected. It's sort of a survival horror. It's got incredible reviews and scores right now. I'm probably 2.5, 3 hours into it, and I'm blown away already. So check it out. It's probably the last big game to come out before these new consoles come out. So it's worth a buy. And if you're interested in trying out digital downloading, why not try it with a game like this?
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. And it's only on PlayStation, right?
Yeah, this is a PlayStation exclusive.
Okay.
These are the guys who made Uncharted, which is very popular on only Sony PS3 consoles.
So are you done with Dodo? Are you not playing Dodo anymore?
No, I still play. The GFQ Gaming is going to be involved in a tournament soon, so we'll have more news on that soon.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Oh, I'm sure you're really excited.
I'm very, very excited. I know Michael Mann is very excited. I know John is very excited.
Yeah.
We're all very excited for your Dodo tournament. You guys take rocks.
Myself.
I thought you guys take rocks and throw it at birds. I thought that was.
I'm so happy I could jump on a couch.
Yeah.
So happy.
So happy.
Wonderful.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Go to our website, gfknetwork.com. If you miss any portion of the show, of course, you can catch it on archive on our website. You can catch it on iTunes, on Android, everywhere podcasts are available. I also encourage you guys to go and subscribe to all our shows on the GFK Network. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zarian. You can follow Josh at Culmination. Of course, John is at Suncast on Twitter. And, of course, the GFK Network. Don't forget to follow the GFK Network. And that's it, guys. So we'll see you all next week on Tech News Weekly. Good night, everybody.